on the topic of enlightenment. And today I want to speak to you about something that the wisdom traditions call the karmic pain body, and also how to address suffering, healing, pain, and everything else. Demetrius, thank you for letting me know that everything is loud and clear. So once again, today we are going to talk about the path to enlightenment, the karmic pain body, and healing everything. So this is an important topic because it's, in a way, the reason for our existence, to go beyond pain and suffering in the direction of what is called unity consciousness, or enlightenment, or pure being, or oneness with the divine, no matter how you want to phrase it. So what is karma, first of all? Because in order to understand the karmic pain body, we also need to understand the meaning of this word that everybody uses without fully comprehending it. And the word is karma. Karma is a Hindi and Sanskrit word, and it's derived from the origin of the word is action. Karma is action. But karma is also what is frequently understood, at least in the spiritual traditions, is binding action. Binding action. What does it mean? It means that karma interferes with your infinite freedom to be a creator. Karma interferes with your infinite freedom to be a creator. How? Well, first of all, remember that karma is binding action. Binding action means you become attached to the action and also the results of the action. And that attachment or identity with the action and the results of the action creates a boundary. The possibilities, infinite possibilities, are now squeezed into probabilities based on memory and desire of the previous action to which you were attached. And so there is then resistance to what? To timeless now. Timeless now, which is all there is. All creation is happening in timeless now. But if you bind yourself to a memory or a desire as a result of past experiences, and then you ultimately find that that is exactly what your body is. Your body is the localization of karma, memory, experience, and desire. And then this body, which is a process in awareness, identifying with this body also is a form of illusion, because the body is not a fixed now. It's a moving process. And as a moving process, it is the metabolism of karma. Metabolism of memory, desire, but also of resistance, anticipation. And that localizes as the process that we call the changing karmic body, because the body changes with every experience. And furthermore, the body is not a physical entity, it's not a noun, it's a process. And the process is, as we've said so many times before, sensations, sense perceptions, images, feelings, thoughts. I can do a meditation sometime with you live going just into how do we go past these dark alleys, these ghost-filled attics, these secret passages of our conditioned mind, which then manifests as the changing karmic body. And the changing karmic body is referred to frequently as the body of pain. But if you want to really understand this, then we also recognize, hello Ramanand Dikshit, we're talking about the karmic pain body and how to heal it. So the karmic pain body is referred to as the pain body because it is the metabolism of both pleasure and pain. So all our experiences oscillate between one extreme of pain and another extreme of pleasure, like a pendulum. Pain and pleasure oscillate. The more extreme your addiction to pleasure, the more extreme will be your pain. And the more extreme your addiction to pain, the more extreme will be your desire to pleasure. The two oscillate. So as you go deeply into the experience of pain, the resistance that occurs wants to oscillate your experience back into extreme pleasure. And that builds up the resistance back into pain, like a pendulum. The energy builds for the opposite. The energy builds for the opposite. Is pain bad by itself? No, pain is a signal that something is wrong. It's a biological feedback. Is pleasure bad? No. It means something is right. You know, your body feels euphoric, pleasurable, joyful. So pleasure is a wonderful experience. Sensory pleasure, sensual pleasure, sexual pleasure, the pleasure that comes from the delight of the senses, whether it's taste, fragrance, flavor, sensation. All these things cause immense pleasure, colors, beauty, and then there are experiences that we refer to as joy and happiness and love and compassion. All these are, in a way, forms of pleasure. So it is not pleasure or pain that are the problem. They're actually signals for homeostasis or self-regulation. It is the addiction to pleasure and pain that is the problem that causes what we call the pain karmic body. So every experience is metabolized in consciousness into the appearance of this body and everything that goes with this body. Your facial expressions, the tone of your voice, your eye movements, your body language, your gestures, they all are basically the selfie that exposes what's going on in the self. And the self is, of course, always a field of infinite possibilities, a field of infinite creativity, a field of unpredictability, a field of non-resistance, a field of self-regulation, a field of self-organization, a field of synchronicity, and a field of bliss. Bliss, not pain, not pleasure, bliss, which is beyond pain and pleasure. Ultimate euphoria, oneness with all that exists. Being in love, to be in love. Unrestrained love, joyful love, love for all. Love not necessarily focused on anyone and not necessarily denied to anyone. Love radiating from you, like light from a bonfire or light from the sun, the love that heals. But then there are experiences that are painful, and there are experiences that are pleasurable, and those are also the joy of experience. The addiction to these, the attachment of these, creates resistance and localizes as the pain body, which is also transforming, but it can transform to your liking if you don't get addicted to power, sensation, or control. That's it, which means no resistance. And then this karmic body starts to reinvent itself. It even causes reversal of aging. I promised 3 years ago I was going to reverse my age, and I'm doing it right now, and I invite you to join me. There are 10 amazing ways to reinvent the body by resurrecting the soul, and I'm going to discuss all of these as we move in these conversations. But for now, just remember, this body is the localization of the addiction to the memory of pain and the memory of pleasure. Otherwise, this body would be totally blissful. No pain, no resistance. So right now, if you look at me, you're looking at my karmic body. You look at anybody, that's their karmic body, and that karmic body goes along with the experience they're having of the world, because the karmic body and the world are a unified experience. You experience the world through the body. Everything you call the world is a sensation in your body, and everything that you call a sensation in the body is also a perception, an image, a feeling, a thought, and it's all being generated in awareness, which is non-local. It is being experienced in awareness, which is non-local. It subsides in awareness, and all you have to do is watch these experiences and recognize that you're intrinsically free of these experiences, that you can enjoy them to the fullest in the moment and let them go at the same time. So right now, if you close your eyes, and you can try it right now, and just have the intention of experiencing your formless body. Formless. So close your eyes, have the intention of feeling formlessness. And by and large, most people feel that with little islands of discomfort in the body. Those are the karmic islands of discomfort, surrounded by awareness, which is not in pain, which is formless, and which is infinite. And it is that infinite in you that is making everything possible that we call experience. That infinite in you is making every experience possible. Without that infinite awareness, being, consciousness, and its motor and sensory activity that we call experience, because every experience is either a sensory experience or a motor experience, movement, and all it is doing is changing sensations, images, feelings, perceptions, thoughts. And if we just allow it, then you minimize the discomfort of the pain body, which is surrounded by the bliss body. So in the background of the karmic pain body is the wholeness of being, which is the bliss body. In fact, the karmic body is less than 1% of who you are. So, the appearance of the body, which is due to atoms and molecules, the appearance of the body, which is due to atoms and molecules, is the metabolism of experiences and memories and desires that we are addicted to, squeezed into the volume of the body and the span of a lifetime. We create our karmic bodies, our pain bodies. And now we need to understand that most of our body is actually a bliss body. All you need is to shift your awareness from the painful sensations to the field of awareness in which the ocean of which is infinite, unformed, causeless, irreducible, fundamental, and infinitely correlated, synchronistic. A sign that you're in connection, in contact with your bliss body is that you have spontaneous fulfillment of desire. You have synchronicity. You have meaningful coincidences because you're now embedded in the tangled matrix of sentient beings. You're entangled in the matrix of beings that are collectively projecting the universe. Because all beings have a pain body until the moment of total freedom or moksha, they also experience a painful world. So of course, one has to learn how to go beyond this conflict of opposites, because the opposites are actually part of the wholeness. Without those opposites, there would be no experience. Up and down, pleasure and pain, joy and suffering, birth and death, hot and cold, on and on. There's no experience without contrast. So the joy of pure bliss is that it knows itself by dividing itself into the subject and object of experience. But both the object of experience and both the subject of experience as the body-mind are one unified process in pure being. This is the karmic pain body, and within it are islands of extreme resistance that are uncomfortable at dis-ease, which ultimately results in disease. This, of course, is a spiritual explanation, not a mechanistic, materialistic explanation, but a spiritual explanation with a spiritual solution. And the spiritual solution is nothing perceivable or conceptual is real. Only the inconceivable, imperceivable, unimaginable, infinite, formless is real. And everything else is a modification of that, and also flickering modification of that. So trying to hold on to it is what is called addiction. And addiction to pleasure is also addiction to pain, and addiction to pain is also addiction to pleasure. Going beyond means having the fullness of experience in a timeless now, without resistance. Have your attention on what is and see its fullness in every moment as it arises and subsides in you, the body of bliss, beyond these contrasts. So Iris is saying how we break the addiction. I'm telling you right now how we break the addiction. I'm telling you the simplest way to do it. Patricia says, what about moksha? Well, that's what we're discussing. Moksha is freedom beyond the karmic pain body and healing. Krishna says, if you knew the path to enlightenment, you wouldn't be selling it. Well, it's free right now here. And go to YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, and there are tens of thousands, or if not hundreds of techniques available, totally free. Lynn Marie says, I'm reversing my age in DNA, telomeres are increasing. That's it, I'm doing the same. So we are both on the same page, and I invite everyone else and participate in this process too. Anand says, look, see, observed, view. Actually, every look is a construction. As soon as you look at something, you construct the experience visually into a form and a phenomenon, but looking only is not observation. Looking always implies an interpretation, and seeing always implies an interpretation, particularly in humans. And humans like to tell stories, and they metabolize their stories into the karmic pain body. So today, this is all we need to understand, shifting from the karmic pain body to the bliss body. Now, of course, the details of this are in Raj Yoga and Gyan Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga, and we can continue our discussion on all of these. So right now I am done with today's explanation, and I just want to see if there are any other comments that I need to address. So Divya says this is very useful. Prabhakar feels this is very beautiful guidance. Brisya says namaste. Kelly says the incredible wholeness of being. I like that very much. I like that phrase very much. And basically everyone's happy. Only one person was unhappy because they think I'm selling enlightenment. Actually, most of what I do, 95% of what I do is free, but 5% is not, because we all have to make a living, and also these things, YouTube and all these channels and postings and everything else, people have to be paid, and one has to run an organization. So I apologize to anyone who thinks I'm selling enlightenment. I'm trying my best to make as much of this information available to you free of charge. But some of you actually would like to participate in creating wholeness and abundance for everyone, in which case don't mind that 5% of what I do, or maybe 5 to 10% of what I do is actually to make a living. But never sacrifice life to make a living. Have I addressed everybody? How do you address the aging process that I referred to? 10 methods. Go online and look for Reversal of Aging by Deepak Chopra and others. But you can also find 2 books that I have written, Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. And if you like fiction, then you should read a book called Lost Horizon. It's about Shangri-La, a mythical place where no one ages. And there's a lesson there, because Shangri-La is not a location, a geographical location, ultimately. It is a state of being. Just like those 2 in the background are states of being of sentient creatures, humans, dogs, you, me, sentient beings in a matrix of beingness project what we call the experience of the physical universe. So, thank you, my friends. And somebody says you received 1,000 messages on Restream this morning. Well, thank you all for joining. I'm very grateful. Somebody sent a message saying, Saying, I can see the shine in your bones. Yeah, shine, shine. Luminous being, transparent world. So much for today. Thank you, my friends. Lots of love, and we'll connect tomorrow. Could you speak to a vegetarian diet and and the benefits? Maximum diversity of plant-based foods increases uh, and helps create maximum genetic information in the body, the entangled planetary microbiome, and that's why it's the healthiest diet. Okay, goodbye for today.